Hi guys, Bill again. It's going to be my last weekend with a beard for a while, so I thought I'd make one last fuzzy-faced video for you. Some of you might remember me talking about a bunch of heartless cunts taking the piss out of Thunderf00t's dad dying a wee while back. And these self-styled social justice warriors, they decided it was great sport to satirise the obviously incredibly funny fact that their main target was in bits over his dad's terminal illness. Fucking warriors, by fuck. You know, they're so brave they stay totally anonymous. Bewildered Ape won't even show his face. Truly heroic behaviour, as any rational person would agree. Fannies. Well, there's been some developments. Now sadly, Thunderf00t's father passed away. I'm not sure if Thunderf00t's ever going to see this, but if you do, mate, you got my condolences. He's gone back to work and he's trying to pick up the pieces. You know, as you do. And making his videos probably helps. You know, it's something he's always enjoyed doing, even before he had a huge YouTube following. Now, you might expect the social justice wankers to just back off for a little while. You know, maybe reflect on just how reprehensible a person would have to be to actually enjoy attacking somebody at a point which has got to be just about the lowest in their life. Nah, not these scumbags. Their next move was to come up with this genius plan to go and fuck over Thunderf00t in real life. Seriously. Ah, shit, you know. Now, a cabal of numpties whose astounding lack of empathy is only rivalled by their towering intellect assembled themselves. There's the aforementioned clueless monkey. There's a sweaty, angry mess called Hannibal the Victor 13. Nothing pretentious about that prick. And a psycho going by the charming moniker of Laughing Witch, amongst others. Now, presumably they were getting tired of getting constantly pwned by Thunderf00t, so they decided to enlist a little help in their harmless little shit-stirring exercise. In real life, Thunderf00t is Dr. Phil Mason. He's a research scientist working in the Czech Republic. And the Warriors started a letter writing campaign. Fucking Warriors. You know, innocuous enough stuff. You know, they called him a harasser, they called him a racist, they called him a Holocaust denier. Yeah, nothing likely to get him into real trouble, right? You know, nothing serious in a country that's got a 5-year prison sentence for being a Nazi. Now, the plan was sound enough, I'll give them that. The first thing they did was they wrote off to local education facilities and the press. See, social justice wankers know that right here in the English-speaking world, that virtually guarantees a noisy mob just laying some kind of hateful siege on whatever poor schmuck just got outed as an anti-feminist. You don't need evidence, you know, the accusation's plenty of evidence as is. The second thing that they did was that they informed the local police that their victim had broken some very serious laws. Now, in an English-speaking country, you'd almost certainly have gotten pulled in for an interview. And their best case would have been for some enterprising local prosecutor to take the case on. We've got the male victim of a sustained, long-term campaign of harassment and abuse on social media standing trial in Canada right now. Now, Gregory Elliott's main offence seems to have been the fact that he dared to pass comment on some of the torrent of abuse, slander and lies that were being disseminated against him. Now, this has already earned him 4 days in jail. It's cost him over 80,000 Canadian dollars. It might still see him locked up. Now, the odds of a similar fate befalling Dr. Mason were anybody's guess before these numpties started sending letters. But Team Fanny were well aware of the possibility that they could be putting a man in jail with their slander for a bit of internet drama. On the back of these two, they also wrote letters to Dr. Mason's employer, detailing numerous charges that were almost, but not quite, laughable. Oh, and they laughed. They laughed. Poor Laughing Witch. She almost pissed herself with glee when she thought that she'd got the doctor sacked. Clueless probably took some great artistic pleasure from his latest performance. And good old Stabby Hannibal, he finally had something that he could use to deflect those awkward questions away. You know, the ones about what exactly was he on Ohio's sex offenders register for? It was all a little premature. You see, the Czech Republic either have got a higher standard of evidence required before they'll go around rounding up a lynch mob, or they just don't give a fuck what a bunch of deranged nutters in North America think about one of their respected nuclear physicists. But it still left the doctor in a very difficult position. Now, there was a lot of talk about being the better man and walking away from the drama, all that sort of shite. Basically just man up and walk off what was a serious, determined attack designed to destroy his life. Let's get one thing clear here, guys. These guys are reckless, vindictive bullies. They're not going to let up. Ignoring them does not work. Giving in to them won't work. They're bullies. It's what they do. They're just going to keep on escalating things until something makes them give up. Now the question is, what's going to do that? Are you going to appeal to authority? How? How is that going to work exactly? You're going to sue some anonymous internet trolls for making unfounded false accusations in another country? Aye, right, good luck with that. But the thing is, they are incredibly dense. They make a neutron star look like a helium balloon by comparison. Jennifer Kelly was so incredibly, mind-numbingly fucking retarded that she doxed herself. After gleefully ripping the piss out of his dying father's condition, after making a determined attempt to ruin Dr. Mason, after taunting nine hells out of him when she believed that he'd been sacked, the dozy cow put her identity out on YouTube. Fuck me. I mean, common sense isn't exactly common with these fucktards. Seriously, what the fuck did she think was going to happen? And as for a sweaty, stabby chubster, well, he's been getting a little bit of that accusation by omission treatment the sock just twats like to throw around. Dr. Mason pointed interested parties at the witch's business, asking very politely that they just don't lie about anything they care to pass comment on regarding her business. Now, predictably, their internet profile has taken a royal shoeing, and a whole bunch of stuff's starting to come to light. Old grievances, allegations of impropriety and misconduct, it's all coming out of the woodwork. Shenanigans. Basically, their online profile is fucked. Now, I have no idea what put Hannibal on the sex offenders register, or even if he was on the sex offenders at all. But the thing is, he's been thoroughly tarred with that accusation. And he's starting to find out that the kind of person who's interested in an accusation like that isn't the kind of person who's interested in the proof or the reality. They're not interested in a particularly high standard of evidence to back it up. J'accuse. Now, I've been wondering to myself just how long it's going to take him to appreciate the irony in that, given some of his behaviour in the past. And even Bewildered Monkey isn't getting away with it. That fucking idiot Simeon is obviously feeling the heat. And he's announced that he didn't actually put his name on the letters that he sent out. Now his victims have always known that he's a cowardly, trolling cunt. Well, now his former allies do as well. Now while we're apparently still stuck with the ape, fucker's going to be around forever, his cohorts have panicked. They've deleted their channels and they've run away crying. Lion Witch has started a crowdfunding exercise. She's pretending that she's the victim of some online hate mob. Seriously, these cunts had an irony bypass. Hannibal was last seen wobbling tearfully into a donut shop. Alright, maybe I might have made that last bit up. Look, the thing is, SOC Justice rallied around. They're defending these reprehensible fannies with demands that Thunderf00t calls off the dogs. Oh, think of the employees, it's a common theme. Well, I have. This next bit goes out to these SOC Just wankers. Kevin Logan, especially. Now, I know you watch my videos, son. Here's a wee thought for you. Some stories just don't have two sides. Pulling in innocents as meat shields, it didn't work against Gamergate. Try and take that lesson on board. Get it through your thick noggin. These cunts acted like cruel, spiteful children. If they weren't punished, they'd have come up with something else. They're constantly pushing the boundaries of what they can get away with, and they're going to keep on doing it until they have absolutely ruined their victim. Kevin, the time for you to offer your services as an intermediary was when these heartless losers were putting a boot into one of your fellow YouTubers when his father was spending his last days on this earth. Now back then, a genuine offer of help and assistance would have been greatly appreciated. Perhaps not by Dr. Mason, but certainly by a lot of his followers. Now you obviously did not give a flying fuck about an innocent victim back then. So why the fuck have you changed your course? Why are you changing your tune all of a sudden? Get the fuck. It is possible that the Lion Witch's business will go under. And it's just as possible that her crowdfund will make her as rich as Quinn or Sarkeesian. Most likely is that her firm is just going to have a quiet winter. I'm not overly concerned about any of the three. Her employees will find other work if the worst happens. Now, if the best happens, she's going to be able to afford some hair dye and skin lotion, and fuck knows she needs it. The most likely thing is things will die down a bit come the spring. What I do want to see is your social justice wanker sorority realise that not everybody is as soft a target as male students barely out of their teens, or decent men who've had no experience of your hideously misandric cult and its appalling behaviour. The world is waking up to your sort of scum, and it's high time you started moderating the worst extremes of your behaviour. Now, if this pathetic little scheme had borne fruit, a research scientist would have been ruined. A good man would have been taken away from his calling, and the world would have been left a little worse for the exchange. There would have been far greater casualties than a few working men stuck out on the streets over winter, as hard as that is to bear. The coaching and the tutoring that Dr. Mason is providing to a whole new generation of European scientists would have been lost forever. His staff would have been just as unemployed as the bathtub massive might end up being. And the research that he's engaged in would have to be abandoned. I mean, who's going to take it over? Hannibal the perv? The fucking simian fucktard? Lying wench? Get a grip. The thing is, I've got a dog in this fight. My wife's mother died of cancer. My dad's dying of cancer. My wife's mother didn't get to see her little girl's wedding day. My wife and I were mitigating the risks as much as we can, but I know what we're going to die of. The fact is that 20 or 30 years from now, maybe sooner than that, I could lose my wife because you social justice wankers thought that it was a good idea to kill a researcher's career. Go look at the doctor's work. Go look at his research interests. Tell me what you think the possible practical applications of examining the role of ions in biological systems is. What do you think establishing new neutron scattering techniques is going to achieve? And what do you think determining solution structure near the visibility limit or their analogues to supercritical states is? What do you think that's leading to? What do you think Dr. Mason is interested in? Don't be intimidated by the big words. Just go find your old science textbooks, open the fuckers up, and actually read what's in there this time. Fucking Egypts. Look, the fact is, Phil Mason took pelters off of these wallopers for months. He could have done this in the summer. He could have retaliated months ago. He chose not to. He only acted when they took the little internet drama out there into the real world. Now learn from that, you fucking retards. Better people than you are ever going to be are engaging with you. They're treating you with way more respect than you have ever earned any kind of right to deserve. And while you're striving your utmost to damage your fellow human beings, they're doing their level best to try and keep things civilised. Don't expect that happy situation to last forever. Mason took a considered appraisal of his situation, and he acted entirely appropriately. Don't pretend he's some kind of monster for using the bare minimum of leverage to defend himself. I've got a better idea for you. Just imagine what he could do if he put as much effort into attacking his rivals as they do into attacking him. Okay, look, beard out. Enough of our rant for one night. Next time you see me, I'm going to be clean shaven, more or less. It's Movember, so if you could get involved some way, guys, it would be great. Doesn't matter how big or small. If you can grow a tash, brilliant. If you can contribute something to the foundation, then please do that. If you don't want to contribute to the Movember Foundation, consider doing something else for charity. And if it's got a focus on something that's going to benefit men and boys, so much the better. Look, thanks for listening this far. Laters, guys.